I'm excited about today because today I get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's my wife. Welcome everyone to another session of Fundamentals of Parenting. I am Jaime Buckley, your host, and today we're talking about creating unity between parents. And I just want to say, never allow a day go by without taking a moment, getting the full attention of your sweetheart and saying, I love you with all my soul. And if they beat you to it, reply, I love you back. I'm not a fan of saying I love you too, by the way. I like that Kathy Lynn told us, someone had said this to her years and years ago. I don't know how long it's been. But when I compared I love you too to I love you back, I love you back seems so much more personal and thoughtful. Anyway, just an extra thrown in there. I married well. Let's start by just saying that. I married very well. I'm not bragging, even though I feel to brag about Kathy at every breath. It's just a fact. I'm both blessed and honored by the woman I call my wife because she's thoughtful, she's kind, she's considerate. She is far more patient than I am and nearly perfect in every way but one. You've probably heard me say this now. She has absolutely terrible taste in men. Fortunately for me, on the other hand, I have perfect taste in women, so it evens out. Now, there are amazing parents throughout this world, both men and women, and I'm not here to point fingers at anyone or to pass judgments, but I am here to make a statement, and it's an uncomfortable one for many. Get over it. Children grow up stronger and better adjusted if they have loving parents raising them. And I mean a father and a mother and a father. Yes, there are exceptional parents out there doing the best they can, and many raise equally exceptional children. But these are the exceptions, while too many carry on as if this is the rule, and it's not. Men and women have specific roles to play in the lives of their children. And though we might compensate for each other from time to time, it will not be as beneficial as two loving and united parents. And part of this is how we strengthen, support, and reinforce one another. So, I want to share a little story here. And if you have any children that are ages 3 or above, you've probably already experienced this multiple times between you and your spouse. And that is, I'm going to use Ruby as the example. She's my 2-year-old. But I could use any of my children as this example because they've all done it. And then as your child wants to do something, maybe they want to go play outside, and he or she asks their mother. Now, for whatever reason, which is likely to be extremely practical and thought out, mother says no. So what does any self-respecting, determined child do? They get a second opinion, so they decide to come to dad. What they don't do is tell you that they've already had the conversation with their mother. Now, this is where Ruby, or any of my children for that matter, used to come to me and ask ever so innocently for permission to go and do something. Because, of course, they want to make sure it's okay to go do what they're asking to do, right? And dad's the boss. So it comes as great surprise to them when their father turns and says, what has your mother said about it? I love the expression on their face. The why. In my family, Kathy Lynn and I strive to be as united in every respect when it comes to our children as much as we can. We don't always see eye to eye. We work things out ourselves. We have very different upbringings. We have similar belief systems. And the longer you're together and you work together and you form your own experiences, hopefully that becomes even stronger and more solid. But we have different perspectives. Sometimes we have slightly different priorities priorities, the list of what's most important at the moment. And that also becomes more united over time. So we work these things out because it isn't about who's right. It's about what's right with a child. So one hard, fast rule we have zero problem with, and that is neither one of us ever speaks unkindly about the other in the presence of the children. Ever. And there's a special strength and power when the children know they can go to either parent and get the same answer. So keep that in mind. Well, there's times when we haven't had time to chat or coordinate. Mistakes are made. Bad judgments are made. I can say that on my side, okay? But the wonderful thing here is that we have no problem taking a step back and then correcting it. Example, nope, changing my answer here, kids. I was not aware your father had already talked to you about this. Kathy does that not as often as I do it because she's home with the kids. But also things like, sorry guys, I jumped to conclusions here and mom filled me in on some things that I was unaware of. So here's what we're going to do. And then I correct the situation. These children belong to both of you. You need to keep that in mind. They're both yours. And this specific issue is doubly important if you're divorced and you're trying to raise these children together. Your why is something to be discussed deeply between mom and dad so that you can develop a strong unity. Talk about the principles, discipline, teaching, etc. Your goals, how you want your children to turn out, education, etc. And methods, how to everything. Take the time to talk with each other, to really discuss these things, to understand one another and come to goals and conclusions together. Because doing so creates a bond between you two, and it will foster confidence in your children. Now, here's the how. And this is one-on-one time. Place your thoughts, your feelings, and your ideas on the table and discuss them. Be open, honest, and explain why you think the way you do. And share your perspectives with each other. Then listen to and welcome the same from your spouse. Don't hammer out that you're just the right one. Even if your views are completely different, hear each other out. Ask why they think the way that they do. There are often times where you might switch some of your perspectives and say, I actually like I like where you're coming from. I like your views. And here's the thing. Pay particular attention to the perspectives because there's something amazing about this aspect of marriage. And that is you don't have to know everything. First of all, you don't. Neither one of you do. But your spouse is your other perspective and you are theirs. Think about this for just a moment. If only one of you comes up with the answer, you both win. It gives you double the shot. I mean, this is brilliant. Use that to your advantage because you both have strengths that will come in handy during the raising of your children, of your child. You both have positive aspects that can be used in the rearing of this child. So go over your why with your spouse. Talk about it, discuss it. You might find tweaks and make your own whys better. Conclusion. When this journey is over and your child is all grown up and out of the house, guess what? The two of you will have each other. Remember that. You started this journey together and you'll end it together. Just kidding. Parenting never ends, even when they leave. They'll just come back with a new set of problems they need your help with, but hey, they'll bring a magnificent bonus for you to enjoy. Grandbabies. But that's for another time. Oh, and again, never talk ill about each other. Ever. You won't just undermine your own parenting efforts, you'll break the heart of your child. Don't do it. What to do next? Go on a date. Love your spouse. Let them know how grateful you are for them and tell them why. You've got this. You are more than you think you are. Tell 2 to 3 people about this show, about these videos, and about our blog. And I'll see you next time.